Welcome to this virtual 2021 ResNet conference session. We're thankful to all the attendees and ResNet for organizing this new format. I'm David Pedrick, the product manager at Ecotrope, and I'll be your moderator for this session. Personally, I was quite looking forward to returning to Atlanta and visiting good friends, as well as sharing great conversation with everybody at the conference. However, all things considered, this is just fine. In fact, this virtual session format will enable more people to learn from each other and help push the industry forward. And sitting here watching the snowfall outside my window is not too bad either. It's not Atlanta February weather, but it is weather. This exciting session will introduce a new program that will be a game changer for the HERS and Energy Star markets. HERS and Energy Star are breaking into the mortgage market and not just through assessors and assessed value standards. Today, we'll learn more about the program launched by PEG, Fannie Mae, and Ecotrope. This program allows Fannie Mae to package Energy Star new homes into distinguished, environmentally, socially responsible mortgage securities. What the heck does that mean? Our distinguished speakers of Matthew Cooper and Ziv Rozenblum will tell us how. This program is a first step in moving the mortgage industry to build and offer better and smarter mortgages. These mortgages will recognize the value of energy efficient and total affordability and durability. And this program is an important step in developing greater demand for rated high-performance homes using the HERS index as a measuring stick. This program is a potential game changer. Let me introduce you to our speakers. Matthew Cooper is the Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of PEG. His 30 years of expertise in the evaluation, design, and control of the built environment have helped establish PEG as an industry leader and innovator. He holds many designations and certifications. These include Lead AP, NGBS Verifier, Certified Indoor Environmentalist from the IAQ Association, Certified Supervisor from the National Environmental Balancing Bureau, and the National Air Filtration Association's Air Filtration Certification. PEG is a leading provider of professional engineering, design, and diagnostic services in the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing disciplines. PEG is also a national leader of utility and municipal demand-side control programs, green building certification, code compliance inspections, and new construction Energy Star certifications in 27 states. Mr. Cooper completed mechanical engineering studies at the University of Maryland and the U.S. Air Force College of Applied Aerospace Sciences. He also completed postgraduate studies in quality systems management at the National Graduate School. Our second speaker is Ziv Rozenblum. Ziv is the founder and CEO of Ecotrope, and Ziv has over 25 years of experience and hands-on management capacities in research and development, engineering, business analysis, product management, marketing, and sales. Ziv has helped Ecotrope as both an innovator and a leader, achieving significant growth and positioning it as the leading residential energy analysis software, performing over 70% of the US HERS ratings and connecting to about 40 utility programs nationwide. Ziv holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering, a Bachelor of Arts in Computer Science, a Master's in Biomedical Engineering, and a second Master's from MIT in Engineering and Management. Ziv also served 11 years in the Israeli Air Force and worked in managerial capacities at HP and Archibus. Now, without further ado, I will turn the presentation over to our speakers to continue this presentation.
All right, thank you, everyone. Again, this is Matthew Cooper, Senior Vice President and COO of PEG, a HERS rating ResNet provider, and also Energy Star Partner of the Year for the last 9 years in a row. We're very excited about the opportunity to discuss this program. For years, a great deal of conversation in the industry has revolved around not only how to monetize high performance homes, but also how to expand and extend the recognition of the value of the ResNet HERS rater, the efforts of Energy Star and other above code program builders, and what that means to the overall value of and the value proposition, if you will, for what we all work so hard to provide for consumers that are looking for high performance homes. PEG was approached late in 2019 to discuss an opportunity about a green MBS program, which is a mortgage-backed security program that Fannie Mae was looking to start. For those of you that work in multifamily, you may be very familiar with Fannie Mae's multifamily green bond programs, which have been around for a very long time, and for which they have hundreds of millions of dollars worth of mortgage-backed securities that have been sold on the market. This is the first time that they were looking to delve into the single-family market, and initially our input was simply to review and provide feedback on the structures and the qualifications and how we felt they might best maximize the ability to engage into this new area of opportunity for them. In early 2020, we were then approached about coming on board in an official capacity to help them not only get the program up and running, but to then also work with builders and lenders and to facilitate the development of a database to house the information for the homes that would be part of this program. So I'm going to start with giving you some background into really what's driving the desire of Fannie Mae to have this program and what it means to all of us and what it means to our greater community when it comes to understanding the value of ESG investing. So ESG investing is a term that represents three distinct aspects of how to evaluate organizations and businesses. These are environmental, social, and corporate governance. It's shorthand, as the slide says, for how to assess the impact of sustainability and ethical practices of a company on its financial performance. There is a lot for any of you that follow the investment world. There's a lot of conversation out in the investment community today about ESG. And this principally comes from shareholders and investors that are looking to ensure that where they place their money is being placed with organizations that share their values. And being in the industry that we are in, we have a great deal of opportunity to interact with companies that have a robust ESG perspective, and we are directly connected to things that matter in the ESG world. Making homes more energy efficient, obviously, is one of the clearest elements of that. And from a social perspective, making American home ownership in the United States and elsewhere more affordable, the total cost of ownership aspect of being able to afford a home beyond just the mortgage, but actually be able to afford operating that home is something that is not insignificant. So when we look at ESG in particular, the E for environmental, this category is related to environmental actions and issues, looking at the energy efficiency elements of a particular point of conversation, looking at how it impacts carbon, a lot of the things that go into what we traditionally recognize as elements of the Energy Star program for new homes, where we look at each home built to the Energy Star standards and how does that impact what would have been a traditional code-built home. How does the difference between the code-built home and the Energy Star built home create a difference between the amount of energy that's consumed, and often that's referred to in categories such as the amount of carbon saved, the number of vehicles not on the road, an equivalency factor, that type of thing, how many trees would have been planted, et cetera. So that's the environmental aspect. The S in ESG is social. This category considers more things such as human rights, workers' rights, health and safety, community engagement and relations, and an inclusion policy on equality. The governance aspect, or the G in ESG, this represents how a company operates, how it governs itself, how it handles things such as compensation, board diversity, board independence, ownership, shareholder rights, transparency, etc. These are the things that differentiate companies that people want to invest their money into, or that organizations want to invest their money into. So the question that comes from this perspective, when Fannie Mae looked at wanting to do this single-family green MBS, it is to look at who cares about ESG in the investment community. Well, it turns out quite a few organizations and a lot of individuals care about ESG in the investment community. The opportunity that this represents is that organizations such as Fannie Mae combine mortgages into a mortgage-backed security, which we'll explore in a few moments, and they take that mortgage-backed security and it gets resold, and it's sold as an investment. And there are a lot of different types of organizations that may be interested in that mortgage-backed security as an investment. One of the things that was important to Fannie Mae is previously conducted studies that analyze the default rate on mortgages in Energy Star homes and how much lower it is than the overall market. And a lot of this comes from the things that we talked about at the beginning, where we talked about total cost of ownership. It also tends to reflect a different consumer group that is interested in a more efficient and environmentally considerate home. And that tends to then reflect itself into different categories of borrowers, and the likelihood of default is significantly lowered. But the organizations that are looking to purchase these mortgage-backed securities, and I'll tell you, in 2020, Fannie Mae sold over $111 million worth of the MBSs in this program. So from beginning, essentially around Earth Day in 2020 to the end of December, it's quite an accomplishment for them to have come so far so quickly. And there's a lot of interest out there. So back to the question about who cares about ESG in the investment community. Well, looking at some of the buyers of these MBSs, we see large organizations. There are organizations that people are very familiar with, companies such as BlackRock. There are large insurance organizations that are very interested in these MBSs. There are large investment organizations for things such as teachers unions, things such as state pensions, that are looking to not only invest in things that are a good investment for them financially, but that share their values. And they look very carefully at the ESG perspective of the investments that they're making. So when you look at this Fannie Mae single family green MBS, it's combining all the things that make up an ideal investment for these organizations. So they are interested in investments that work for them. They're interested in investing in things that have environmental, social, and corporate governance perspectives that align with their own. And what this means to our community and to our builders is that these mortgages are more desirable to those investment groups than traditional mortgages. So this is an opportunity for us to really maximize the extended benefit of all the effort that goes into becoming a certified HERS rater, rating these homes, working with builders that build these homes, and working with lenders that are lending the money for consumers to purchase these homes. So this opportunity is really unique in the more not direct monetization of the value of the home, but really a much more professional perspective, an opportunity for our industry and the groups that we connect with to be recognized outside of our own community for the excellence and expertise that we possess. So a little bit of background on what a sustainably focused mortgage-backed security is. A mortgage-backed security basically is a debt security that is collateralized by mortgages or a collection of mortgages. This is an asset-backed security that is traded on the secondary market and enables investors to profit from the mortgage business without the need to directly buy or sell homes. So again, this is organizations that are looking to invest their stakeholders' money into things that have a good return, as well as things that have a shared alignment of values. These mortgages are then sold to institutions, again, such as an investment bank or government institution, who package it into an MBS that can then be sold to the individual investors. So Fannie Mae and other GSEs, or government-backed organizations, are the only ones that are allowed to market and sell these mortgage-backed securities. What's unique about the Fannie Mae Green MBS is that it's bringing in the $111 million plus packages that were bundled and sold over the past year. It's bringing a premium on the market, and this creates benefit to the lenders and the builders that are investing in the construction of these above code homes. And this gives them the opportunity to be more competitive with looking at the financial perspectives of qualifying for mortgages, et cetera. The information that's coming out of these homes, is very unique as far as the perspective of having third parties that are looking to report on the value of the Fannie Mae programs. The Fannie Mae programs have for many years on the multifamily side produced annual reports that really highlight the overall impact to the environment of those MBSs on the multifamily side. And for the first time, this is an opportunity for Fannie Mae to do so on the single family side. So we look at the standards behind Fannie Mae's program, and this is the initial program criteria. I'll share where the program is going afterwards. Right now, the single family Green MBS program includes only mortgage loans that are backed by newly constructed single family residential homes with Energy Star certification that meet or exceed the national program requirements for Energy Star certified homes version 3.0. It does also include homes that are certified to version 3.1 in states that that is the active version of Energy Star. So any state that is on a more advanced code and Energy Star 3.0 does not represent enough of a increase in energy efficiency, then the Energy Star version 3.1 would be the applicable program. But everywhere else in the country, the minimum entering criteria is version 3.0. So these are the latest addition to Fannie Mae's Green Bond Program. Some of the highlights: the designation of Energy Star was selected due to it being a nationally and globally distinguished standard for energy efficiency. They are looking to have a qualification of 10% more efficient than homes built to code, and an overall 20% improvement on average. The Green MBS program with Fannie Mae is also independently evaluated by an organization in Europe called Cicero. And Cicero is an internationally known organization that evaluates sustainability programs and gives them a score, essentially looking at how the program aligns with standards and objectives for sustainability. The single-family MBS program for Fannie Mae has received what's called a light green second opinion from Cicero, meaning that the program is aligned with the industry standards of sustainability globally, and that there is guidance from Cicero on direction for how to continuously improve the rating of the program. Again, as I mentioned earlier, since the launch of this program in April of 2020, to commemorate the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, Fannie Mae has issued, it's actually 111 million of single-family green mortgage-backed securities in the year 2020. So when we look at some of the organizations and structure around what's interesting about this program and how much of a difference it means for ResNet HERS raters, is we really are standing in an opportunity to have our industry recognized outside of our own group of professionals, such as builders, code officials, HERS raters, manufacturers, suppliers, et cetera, to be recognized that the industry has a professional designation, that being the ResNet HERS rater, that is being utilized in conversation in the financial community, is pretty impactful. When we look at organizations that write about the mortgage industry and how they're recognizing that HERS raters are being used to independently verify that homes meet the Energy Star Certified Homes Program in order to be included into the Fannie Mae Single Family Green MBS, is a significant step. And we're very proud to be the first step, the first part of that process. One of the things that we want to make sure that anyone attending this session gets out of it is an understanding of what it takes to be participating in the program, what you can do to help expand the role of builders and lenders in the program, and how you can expand your own opportunity with builders by being able to participate in this program and help them qualify for the Single Family Green MBS program with Fannie Mae. These are some of the reference documents, which you'll have links to at the end of the session. You're welcome to read all of these documents yourself to really gain an even deeper understanding of what green bonds mean, what they mean to the Fannie Mae Single Family Green MBS program, what they mean to the mortgage industry, and read more in detail about Cicero and their third-party evaluation of the sustainability component of this program. So some of the questions, things that we want to discuss today about what does this mean for you, the ResNet HERS rater? The opportunity exists to expand your role with builders. Currently, the three builders that are active in this program are Lennar, D.R. Horton, and NVR. These organizations were carefully selected by Fannie Mae, principally for the fact that they build in many markets, they build many Energy Star homes, and that they also have a in-house lending program, which made for easier onboarding of the program with Fannie Mae. The opportunity, however, will be for the future. In the future, Fannie Mae is looking to include all Energy Star builders that have either a relationship with an internal lending arm or with an external lending arm that deals with Fannie Mae loans. So the opportunity really exists to, for any HERS rater that's working with a builder that's doing Energy Star, to be able to go to that builder and say, look, we've heard about this program with Fannie Mae. If you have mortgages that are being backed by Fannie Mae, then there's an opportunity for you to be in this program and not only differentiate yourself from opportunities on the financial side, but also have the opportunity to align with the ESG criteria that is a requirement of those that are purchasing these MBSs behind the Fannie Mae program. The lenders that are currently involved in the program, as I said, are all in-house lenders. So this is Lennar Mortgage, this is DHI, and this is NVR Mortgage. In the future, however, this will be open, the program will be open to any mortgage company that is dealing with Fannie Mae mortgages. And ultimately, there will be lenders in the program that may be aligned with more than one builder that are doing Energy Star. And they may be the principal point of contact with the program, or it may be a large or regional builder that works with multiple lenders that also all have some of their mortgages held by Fannie Mae. The current program right now, the raters that have thus far been part of the actual rating of the homes includes PEG, includes DPIS and energy inspectors, and includes Top Build. As I said, the program though is Fannie Mae is looking to expand the program. One of the things that Ziv will talk about is PEG was also tasked with developing a database. So we built a database to house the information for the properties that are included in the program. Ziv will detail the privacy nature of what data is collected. It's very rudimentary. We're simply looking to identify addresses that go with mortgages that the participating lenders and builders are reporting to Fannie Mae as being Energy Star homes, and then collecting information about the date that they were certified, what version of Energy Star they were certified in, and then the square footage of the homes, because that square footage value is part of the calculation of environmental impact that is so important to the program and to Cicero and to the annual reporting of the program and how it affects the ESG perspective. In the future, we're looking to have all raters that are working with Energy Star builders participate in the program. There will also in the future be other programs included in the certification barrier to entry. So while it is currently Energy Star 3.0 or above, we are looking and working with Fannie Mae to expand the program accessibility to other certification programs such as the National Green Building Standard, LEED, Earthcraft, et cetera. So there will be a lot of opportunity beyond just Energy Star, but currently that's the standard of entry. So essentially, the information that it goes into the program is going to be explained to you by Ziv. So I'm going to step back here and let him introduce the element of this relationship, this partnership between Ecotrope, Fannie Mae, and PEG.
Matthew, thank you very much. Thank you first for this presentation, and second for spearheading this wonderful project. I'm extremely proud to be and excited to be part of it. I think it will transform the entire industry, and I'm so happy we could build a partnership where we can bring our technology to assist. So, how will the participation process work? Step one will be an opt-in process. We want to make sure, 100% sure, that you want to participate and you agree to participate. It will be either an email, maybe a checkbox in our application, maybe we're going to combine the two, but we, again, want to make 100% sure you want to participate. Then, once you do, we are currently in the final stages of implementing a connection between Ecotrope, the database that Fannie Mae is building with the support of PEG, and the data will be transferred automatically, meaning that once you rate an Energy Star home 3.0, 3.1, we will automatically transfer a subset of your data to PEG to put in their database. And this data will include the address of the house, the floor area, the compliance status, is it 3.0, 3.1, the builder, and a small amount of information regarding the rating, the rater, the rating data, company, the rating company, and registry ID. And that's coming again shortly. Now the process is a bit different. Matthew, is that correct?
Yes. So currently, the way that the program has worked for the past 9-10 months has been a manual process. So to date, with the three builders and their lending arms that we discussed earlier, they have been sending, as they identify through a special feature code, which mortgages of theirs are a Fannie Mae mortgage. They're sending those lists to Fannie Mae in an Excel spreadsheet. Fannie Mae then sends those Excel spreadsheets to PEG, and we then go out and verify through emails with the rating companies to confirm that those homes were in fact rated, the date that they were certified, the square footage is accurate, etc. And those are all being housed manually, uploaded into the database that we have created. So the process, when Ziv says that you as a rater will need to opt in, this is the part about the opportunity that I discussed earlier, is that the builder and the lenders also have to be opted in. So we need raters to be willing to have their information on behalf of their builders, this filtered subset of information sent into the program. But then their builders also have to be enrolled in the program with Fannie Mae, and the lenders have to be enrolled in the program with Fannie Mae. So essentially, on the database side, PEG will be onboarding builders, raters, and lenders, and we will be providing access credentials to the database so that for homes that are not automatically being moved through the API from Ecotrope, either because of a variety of reasons, obviously right now we're still in development of that API. It will be up and running early this year, 2021. But in the interim, we still have homes, builders, lenders, and raters who want to have their homes in the program. Obviously, Fannie Mae wants to have as many in the program as well. So we will still be currently running the manual process. Obviously, if we have raters automatically or manually uploading homes that they are saying they have rated, meaning they have the registry ID, they have the rated date, they have the version of Energy Star, they have the house attributes to include, and Fannie Mae is then able to, through the lender and the builder, identify and determine that they are in fact Fannie Mae loans. Then we will, through that access for participating builders, lenders, and raters, be giving you the ability to upload homes directly into our database, our Fannie Mae database. You will only be able to see homes that were rated by you. Builders will only be able to see homes that were theirs. Lenders are only able to see homes that they have a mortgage for. Fannie Mae obviously can see all of the information for the homes. But it's as you can imagine with Fannie Mae, a very, very robust, secure environment for access to this database. So there's a lot of moving parts that will become simpler as Ecotrope completes their API development. But this is a program that in the interim, we still are actively accepting homes and the necessary information into.
Yeah. So just one thing to emphasize, I guess, Matthew, even if you are not an Ecotrope user, don't go away. You can still participate first as a manual process, and we are in conversation about more automatic process in the future. But there is definitely a place for even not Ecotrope users to participate right away, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
Great. Well, thank you for that. And right now we'll transition to a question and answer phase of this presentation. So first off, I wanted to ask about why a HERS rater would want to join this program and how they are convincing builders also participate in the program. Because it sounds like the builder has to do some legwork in order to sign up and check the box on the mortgages to indicate that this is a energy efficient home. So like kind of why? What's the reason for them?
I'll take this one, David. So the why is aligned with ResNet's core values and with their goals for expanding the professional recognition of a HERS rater as an industry professional. We talk at length about the ability for HERS raters to be a proxy for code in certain markets. Everyone has talked quite extensely about the alignment and comparison of a HERS rating to the ERI. This is a very unique opportunity for the ResNet industry and its certified raters to share their professionalism and recognition of their professionalism with a completely different industry, that being the mortgage industry. You know, we've established relationships between ResNet and organizations such as appraisers, et cetera. But this is a really unique opportunity. As I said earlier, Energy Star certified new homes is the current entry barrier. But as I also said, in the future, there will be other programs that are in this, but they have in common HERS raters. HERS raters almost universally have, you know, certifications that cross into different categories of above code programs. So this is an opportunity to you know, understand this program and be prepared for future opportunities as this program expands. And I think that it's you know, there are builders who are going to want to be in this program, and they are going to want to work with raters that are already understanding how the program works and are willing to participate in it. The other half of your question of why are builders joining this, we touched on it briefly earlier, but principally it falls into a couple of buckets. One, you know, it helps them with you know, qualifying for enhanced standards and criteria with Fannie Mae loans. So that's one distinct element of it. And the second is their own ESG obligations and you know, internal you know, standards. There are not just publicly traded builders, but certainly publicly traded builders are a large part of the ESG discussion. They obviously, being a publicly traded organization, have shareholders and a lot of them are institutional shareholders who represent, you know, hundreds of thousands of people's money, and they very distinctly want to, those investors want to make sure that the builders they're investing in are aligned with their ESG values. So that's a very important part of the conversation for why builders want to be in this program, and then therefore want to have a rater that is working within the program with them.
Well, thanks. That leads me into my next question about, I'm interested, I want to share information about this program with my builders. What should my pitch be to them, and what kind of information do I share with them?
So I think that the links that are included in this session presentation are a good start. Certainly there is other information that you can reach directly out to the contacts at the end of the session that are listed on the closing slide to obtain additional information. It's also very easy for us to directly connect a builder with Fannie Mae. And Fannie Mae has project managers that represent different parts of the country and different size and types of builders and different size and types of lenders. So if you as a rater have a builder that's interested and you want to make the pitch to them, we can help you through those links with information to share. We can also customize a pitch for you, or we can simply be a liaison to connect the builder or the lender directly to Fannie Mae, and they can have that conversation with them one-on-one.
Right. This question's not on here, but something that I've been thinking about during this presentation is that this conversation kind of assumes that there's some kind of feedback loop where we raise awareness and raise the financial incentive to package these environmentally or these energy efficient homes in a special mortgage-backed security. And it sounds like that makes somebody money. And then how does that eventually come back to the HERS rater to say, how does that increase more HERS rating demand or more Energy Star demand for raters out in the market?
Yeah, definitely. So the increased demand is a trickle down, for lack of a better term, sort of impact. Builders tend to not only look to find ways to differentiate themselves to consumers, but they look to differentiate themselves from other builders. So participating in this program will allow them to do both. They're going to be able to build more above code homes that will be appealing to consumers, as well as be more competitive in the lending market. How that manifests itself into greater opportunity for HERS raters is that market penetration. Just as ResNet continues to record and document the penetration rate of HERS ratings in the overall new construction community, this is a similar process where the more builders that are in the program, the more other builders will want to be in the program. And the more builders that are in the program that requires the use of a HERS rater to independently certify that the homes meet the criteria Fannie Mae has established, then the more opportunity there will be for those raters.
Great. And you know, related to that, we've talked some about data security and data privacy. Could you talk a little bit more about that and what Fannie Mae will do with the home's information once I submit it to the database?
As I shared with you earlier, only a very small subset of the rating information will be sent. We take it very seriously. All the other information is protected against our firewall. So the information you saw is what is going to be submitted, nothing else. The API will not allow them to just inquiry anything else. So from that perspective, you know, just this is the only thing that will move to Fannie Mae, and that they can use.
And to further expand upon that, the information that is shared with Fannie Mae, again, is only for homes that are built by a builder who has signed on to participate in the program, and they are only for homes that are the mortgage, the lender's mortgage was a Fannie Mae backed mortgage. So any other homes that any rater is entering into the registry through Ecotrope will not be part of the database data. It won't be accessible by the API or by Fannie Mae. It will only be the information pertinent to the homes that the builder, the participating builder, and the participating lender have identified to Fannie Mae as Energy Star certified and a Fannie Mae loan. So no other information. So if a builder is building non-Energy Star homes in the same market, they won't be in this program and they won't be accessible to the program. If they are building homes that are Energy Star, but they're from a different lender, then they are firewalled within the database by lender as well as by builder. So it's just like with the rater, there's criteria that are defining what homes, and that the minimal subset of information is actually going to Fannie Mae through the database.
Great, thank you for that. Now, this is a somewhat major breakthrough to really get the energy efficient homes recognized by lending agencies. People have been trying this for ever since the industry has been around, I think. How did you overcome some of the barriers to make this connection with Fannie Mae?
So I think that the thing that really helped make the process be perceived as reliable and demonstrably different for Fannie Mae was analysis that they did on the multifamily side, analysis that came from Freddie Mac on the information regarding default rates of Energy Star homeowners. And then when PEG started to work with them, with Fannie Mae, we really showed them through information collected by ourselves for these builders in multiple markets, from homes that we had rated, homes that DPIS had rated, homes that EI had rated, homes that Top Build had rated, that there really is a significant percentage of homes that are available out there and are independently certified by HERS raters, that there's enough volume out there that are percentage owned by Fannie Mae or backed by Fannie Mae to make this a really viable program. And I think they were really stunned when we were able to share with them, years worth of data of just how many homes are Energy Star certified, and what percentage of the overall new construction market those homes represent, and how that percentage is increasing, and how robust the certification process is. We spent quite a bit of time with them, walking them through the testing, the inspections, the minimum rated features, the way the software works. Ziv and Cy did a great job with the Fannie Mae people, walking them through Ecotrope and really showing them that there's so much data going into the validation process of what HERS raters are doing in the field, and the tools that they have to do that really helped prove to them that these are very robust programs that collect a lot of detailed information, and there's a lot that goes into our QA process. We shared with them great detail about how much QA, field and file QA that we have to do, and how ResNet looks at that, how credentialing of raters is managed and maintained. So there was quite a bit that went into showing them the reassurances and the layers of validation that go into HERS rating a home that a builder has built and said meets the Energy Star requirements. So it's the Energy Star elements, it's the ResNet HERS rater elements, it's the software elements of Ecotrope, it's the builder's commitment to improved processes and materials, et cetera. And that really, I think, is what helped us assure Fannie Mae that Energy Star and HERS rater, that combination, it was really the direction to go.
Great. It sounds like it was really the strength of the industry as a whole, whether it's QA, market penetration of Energy Star ratings, that really brought this all together. All right, thank you. And let's move on to this next question about implementation and timing and when you can participate in this program. Thank you. And now let's move on to the second question about implementation phases, timing, and when you can begin sharing projects through Ecotrope and sharing projects to this database. So Ziv, what are the implementation phases and when can people get started submitting projects?
Oh, thank you. So naturally, the decision about who can participate and can submit, at the end, it's in the hands of Fannie Mae. And as we discussed earlier, even now, you can contact Matthew at PEG and potentially participate through the manual process. I can talk about the more automated process that we are working on right now, and it's got 3 phases. The first one is to create the automatic connection. If our API talk with their API, so data can transfer automatically. We are making good progress there. In fact, my estimation is that we're a few months away from having it implemented. The next phase after that will be to test that with data we're gonna take from data we're gonna use from PEG, and then we're gonna open it up to the rest. So I estimate that we are several months away from technically having the automated connection. But again, if you want to participate right now, you can already contact Matthew and work on implementing the manual process.
Yeah, absolutely. The as we discussed a little bit earlier, which Ziv mentioned, we are still manually uploading participating homes to the database. We have also been testing parts of the API connection, just downloading as a task Energy Star homes from PEG that are not necessarily in the program, and then learning from those to make tweaks as we move forward with the full API. But certainly any rater that's interested in participating or interested, as I said earlier, with understanding how to best connect their builders to the Fannie Mae program, by all means, reach out to the contact information, which will be available on the last slide.
Great, thank you. Now, what are the future plans and opportunities for this program, both in the next remainder of this year and beyond that?
So the future opportunities, as we talked a little bit about earlier, will include additional above code programs. The Fannie Mae team is working with a third-party vendor who vets all the different programs that are available. And since those programs are consistently changing as code changes, et cetera, for example, the 2020 version of NGBS became available during this past year while we've been working on the Energy Star version of the program. So that third party is evaluating current cycles of above code programs, and they continuously make recommendations to Fannie Mae of which ones they recommend equal to or better than the existing Energy Star program when it comes to their target goals for energy efficiency and the other ESG criteria. So those will be starting to become available. Obviously, then we then have to start the conversation over again of for each of those programs, there are different reporting platforms, et cetera. Fortunately for the Energy Star program, with everything going through ResNet's approved software, it gives us the ability to have access to the greatest amount of third-party data, whereas other programs such as LEED for Homes, NGBS, Earthcraft, et cetera, don't have dedicated software necessarily that is widely used where this information can be collected. So it's our expectation that newer programs coming in to the Fannie Mae Green MBS will also all start as manually uploaded process, which will look different than the Energy Star process. But we are in conversation with them about utilizing just the HERS index as well as the Energy Star program. So that's one area that we think will get some traction with them. As far as other long-term opportunities, there are conversations about the data that's available. As I said earlier, right now we look at version of Energy Star and we look at square footage of the homes that are being certified, and that gives us the ability to calculate certain metrics. We are also looking at other opportunities related to electrification and looking at fuel sources for heating, cooling, and water heating. And they may ultimately become fields that become important or present opportunities to the program for evaluating the metrics of the program. So there are certainly other ways that we think that we're going to be able to extrapolate the usefulness of the information as it pertains to properties and ESG objectives.
Right. Yeah, and you mentioned kind of the access to all of this data and how this data is being shared kind of in a new and unique way. And that makes me start to think about scalability and where else this kind of data sharing and this kind of data connection could take us. Are there, how else do you envision, both of you, kind of how this data connection could be used? Can it connect to other systems, other organizations? It's a powerful connection.
Absolutely. I think this is a wonderful project, but it also showcased the potential. So here's my philosophy. I think raters and providers are at the heart of the energy efficiency process for residential new construction. Now, they also connect between key stakeholders in our ecosystem: builders, parts manufacturers, incentive programs, code officials, and they store very valuable information to others like financial institutes and builders. And this puts us raters, providers, software companies in a great spot to influence and collaborate with other stakeholders. And this is the first time capabilities exist. We have a centralized database. We have connections, via API that things can move automatically back and forth. And we also have decision support tools like automated design assistant, things that help us make better decisions. And again, I think what we see now with Fannie Mae is one example, but we can do many other things. For example, we can collaborate with parts manufacturers, where instead of having generic presentation and a wave of hand, they can start tailor their products to exactly what each rater needs, what plans they have, and then present the information in a way that makes sense. We can also get notifications when, for example, there are better ways for us to meet 45L, etc., or to even communicate with utility programs, where instead of them kind of coming up with solutions or programs and letting us know, having a way where we collaborate and building programs that make sense to our clients in a better way, and then communicate about that more efficiently. So in short, I think there are many opportunities, and our ability to influence and connect with others as raters, providers, software companies collaborate together are now better than before, and lots of things we can do.
I would agree, Ziv. I think that as any of us in this industry would speak to, the barrier to entry for a lot of builders to any incentive program is consistency across the different platforms or lack thereof. And I think that often becomes the point of resistance for a builder to participate in an incentive program, whether it's from a utility or, as you said, with 45L, or with manufacturers or product suppliers, is they don't have the time. I mean, just look at this past year with the vast increase in demand for new housing nationwide. Is builders can barely keep up with just building their homes, and when they look at the participation requirements for utility incentive programs, for example, one program may be a binary Energy Star program where either you are or you aren't able to participate based on that certification. And then within the same geographical reach of that builder's operation, there may be another program that's available that's KWH saved based, and to try and educate them to the point of feeling comfortable and confident that they can successfully pursue participation in those programs. While that's something that we as rating providers often are shouldered with, it still is it's a burden to carry to get them builders to participate and understand the differences from one program to the next. And typically the default reaction is, well, then we just don't want to do it, because they don't want to make investments necessarily in meeting a program's requirements if they aren't crystal clear on understanding what exactly it is that they have to do. So the ability for us to demonstrate with this program that we can create a centralized process of managing that data, that is another opportunity I think that will exist in the future for us to be able to speak to organizations, and as Ziv said, even manufacturers or different types of construction, and be able to manage that process consistently from market to market and nationwide, so that a builder can actually maximize their participation opportunity.
Great. Yeah. I've heard some builders say that building is you incur lots of brain damage because you're constantly solving problems, constantly hitting your head against the wall to solve a problem. And this eliminates some of that brain damage that a builder has in complying or getting the benefit of these programs. When things are connected, it just makes it more seamless, makes it easier for the builder. And so with that, I'd like to thank both of you, Matthew and Ziv, for this session. And for the folks that are listening and watching along, if you have questions that you'd like to ask, please feel free to reach out to Matthew or Ziv. And if you want more information about learning about the Green MBS participation, you can email this email that's on your screen right now as well. And once again, thank you, Matthew and Ziv. And we look forward to hearing more about this program in the future.
Thank you very much, and I hope that everyone is enjoying the virtual ResNet 2021 conference.
Thank you all.